I'm Mixer Giant and going to be upgrading Marvel Samhain to prevent the other forms of media. Since he already exists in the Marvel Universe, you can use him as the Marvel Universe's spirit of Halloween, and it is good him also being a supervillain. You would need to do an adaptation of the original storyline to introduce him, since that one has his origin story. And you need to do some adjustments in it. Like the kids who are dressed up in it with actual supervillains that attend to their costumes. Like the Jack-o'-lantern was a supervillain Jack-o'-lantern, and the Goblin was actual villain Green Goblin. While the Ghost was the Iron Man villain, the Ghost. And some other kids that return to their costumes from them. But when Wanda and Vision defeated Samhain, the other guys also changed back from their costumes, and they also defeated them as supervillains. But when they defeated Samhain, they also defeated the other supervillains, and they also changed back from. Then there are also other people who took up the mantle of Samhain in the Marvel Universe, who can make it that they were a part of his family or them being a part of his cult. And there is also a mutant that has powers. You can make him have powers similar to Halloween, and you're doing some good stories with the X-Men with him. Thus, you doing Man God and the Guardian Serpent is perfect, because then you being able to do the Marvel monsters later in the MCU, and then you being able to do Marvel monsters Unleashed in the MCU, which should be going on at the same time as the Fear and Hellords arc in the MCU. This way you would be able to get something different if you don't want to follow the whole MCU storyline, and you only seeing it if you want to. With it being able to connect to the rest of the arc of the MCU storyline if you really want it to. And with it being similar enough to the Fear and Hellords part of the MCU storyline from Phase 7 and 8. So Lady Hellbender would be perfect for it. Because her whole thing is her wanting to protect monsters by putting them on a monster sanctuary. Because of her caring about monsters, which is also how she became the Queen of Monsters. It would be good her going up against the Hulk while you're still in the MCU and you exploring that part of the Hulk, and she does also have a romance with Amadeus Cho's Hulk, which would be good for when they introduce him into the MCU. And she does also have a relationship with Venom, so it would be good for when you introduce them into the MCU. And because they're getting ready to introduce the Midnight Suns, it would be perfect you introducing Lady Hellbender, because you can use her to introduce the rest of the Marvel monsters into the MCU. With her going against the Midnight Suns because of them going against monsters in their world, and her being drawn to Earth because of them already having so many giant monsters. But then her finding out that the monsters don't want to leave Earth, and them needing to stay on Earth because it being their home and them being free there. So her just doing another monster sanctuary, which would be Monster Island on Earth, and to keep the Earth monsters safe there, and to also keep some other monsters safe there because of Earth being the perfect habitat for monsters because of Monster Island, because of them already having so many monsters there on Earth. It's a giant monster of Marvel's original giant monsters. Googum, son of Goom, is the son of Goom, and he just wants his brother to be proud of him, but after him defeating a monster without your trains, he realizes that he doesn't need his brother to be proud of him. And him even saying Goom is Goom. Him and his brother having the same powers that they did in Hulk and the Age of the Smash, and the other Goom of his species is his mommy and his brothers and sisters. It is good Goom being able to do more things, and it is also good to fleshing Goom out more.
Fire, ice, and acid breath? Seriously?
Imagine a pack of these monsters at my command. I'll hunt every hero on Earth to extinction. Our family will be unstoppable.
Family? I'm right here, Mama! Let her rip!
Yes, Mother. Destroy!
Yeah,
My lightning bolts! Without...
My distress call?
What distress call?
My emergency beacon. It's been on for hours. And why does it sound like a cricket?
Ah, gosh, I thought he broke this thing.
Emergency distress call from the Hulk. Repeat, emergency distress call from the Hulk.
Oh, that's weird. So the electro joke box made the cricket sound.
Ain't they something? Left a camera on Monster Island, just to keep tabs on the kids. On the hall. Have fun.
Such power. I have never felt anything its equal.
If Sauron figured out how to teleport, he could attack any place on Earth.
Oh, I won't need it. There is one reptile I've never been able to control, but thanks to my borrowed powers, I have summoned him. A being so powerful, all my other minions flee from him in terror. Behold, Hulks, the agent of your extinction, Fin Fang Foom.
The Sauron is a half-man, half-pterodactyl who's a mutant that can absorb other people's powers and energy. And because he's already in the X-Men source guy, he would be good as another villain the X-Men could fight against when after you introduce them into the MCU. You can make him a Brotherhood of Mutants member, and you can also use him to explore and to introduce the Savage Land into the MCU. The Savage Land is where Quasar is from. It's a separate part of the world that's filled with dinosaurs in the North Pole, in Alaska. And because of Marvel having more than one Dracula in the comic books, you would need to bring both of them to the MCU, because as you need to have the Midnight Suns go against Dracula, and you're also needing Blade to go up against Dracula. Also being able to do Dracula as a villain for Doctor Strange, with the original Dracula showing up in a few movies, but then him dying when him going up against Blade, but then the Midnight Suns fighting against the other armored Dracula. Dracula was originally a villain for Quincy Harper and his team of vampire hunters before Quincy Harper temporarily killed Dracula. And he also fought against Captain Britain in the Captain Britain Court when he tried to make Britain his vampire nation. So this would be great for a Captain Britain movie that the MCU was already going to be planning to do. And because there's more than one Dracula in the Marvel multiverse, you can make it that there be more than one Dracula in the MCU. It is because of that Dracula why Deadpool married the Queen of the Monsters. And that Dracula eventually married the Queen of the Monsters too, so you would be able to get a lot out of him before him dying from the Midnight Suns. Which would also hint and build up to the Vampire War in the MCU from the Avengers storyline. Because since there are going to be so many supernatural parts in this part of the MCU, you're going to need to do a good job to explain what happened to it after you've been done with these parts of the MCU. And can also just make it that it taking place at the same time as the Midnight Suns going up against the Fear and Warlords too, to explain where the other superheroes were at the time. And why no one else was with the Midnight Suns helps to defeat the Fear and Warlords with them. So it would be good for us to see other parts of the world in the MCU that actually exist in real life. And you can just make it that the reason how the Captain Britain Corps was created was because of the original Captain Britain finding the sword of Excalibur, with him being Captain Britain at the times of knights in armor, and also Britain creating Captain Britain during World War II because of them being inspired by Captain America during World War II. Plus the original Captain Britain did it first, so him showing up in an MCU movie is just when he needs to start appearing usually in the comic books again. And they will need to get Henry Cavill to play the main Captain Britain because he was already supposed to do it, and he can still show up in the DCU. And Captain Britain isn't just a cheap knockoff of Captain America, you know. The original version of him is seriously underrated, and he should come back as a member of the Captain Britain Corps from the main Marvel Universe. Psylocke is a member of the X-Men and X-Force, and she used to be a part of the Captain Britain Corps, and she's the sister of the main Captain Britain. So it'd be good you hinting at her here. It'd be a good way for you to build up to the X-Men in the future MCU movies. In fact, that's why the main Captain Britain is not just a cheap knockoff of Captain America because of there being the Captain Britain Corps. The Captain Britain Corps is made out of different Captain Britons from different parts of the multiverse. Before Rick and Morty ruined it, and the Simpsons had to fix it, and before the Flash CW so did it with the Cancer of Wells, and before the MCU did it with the Cancer of Kane's, and before the Cancer of Reed Richards, before they did it in the second Spider-Verse movie. These guys were the original multiversal superhero team, so you can actually do some multiversal stories with it. And also you using it for an excuse for why them crossing over into different parts of the multiverse in the MCU. So that would be a good way to explain that the Captain Britain Corps was there since World War II and only just now they're deciding to get involved with other parts of the world. Because them finding out them being wrong about leaving the world to its own problems and then not helping them and with the rest of the world with its problems. Because of Drakkar trying to take over their country and they couldn't get help from any other superheroes in any other parts of the world even though them being all over other parts of the world. Because they're not helping the other parts of the world when them fighting against supervillains and intergalactic threats. Plus, Drakkar also created Baron Blood, which is a Nazi vampire villain of Captain America from World War II who survived into the modern day because of him being a vampire makes him immortal. So not only would it be good him fighting against the guys who have something to do with Captain America in the modern day, you can also do them showing up in the other Drakkar movies, then them showing up in the Captain Britain movie as a villain to Captain Britain 2. Doctor Strange's brother did become an alternate version of Baron Blood. You also need to make it Baron Blood feeling bad about him doing this to the family and him sacrificing himself to stop Dracula in the end. And him turning his niece into a vampire and her becoming Baroness Blood, and her fighting against Baroness Zemo. And you need to combine all three of their costumes into one. And there is a good alternate version of Baron Blood in Spider-Gwen's universe, so that would be good for when they introduce Spider-Gwen into the MCU. And you'd also need to make it that instead of him being a Nazi, him just working together with Hydra during World War II. And then using Hydra technology and magic to get rid of his vampire weaknesses. Since Union Jack is similar to Captain Britain, you can just make it him working together with Captain Britain with the Destroyer, because of him only being friends with the Destroyer, and the third Baron Blood, with him also usually working together with Free Spirit and Jack Flag, because of them both being partners to their country's superhero. And they would be good so the MCU would still have that connection to Captain America after them being done with Sam Wilson and Bucky. And they do need to do these guys good because these guys' most iconic story is one of Captain America's worst stories. And because they already did that moment good in the MCU, they can easily do these guys good too in the MCU. Jack Flag could be the Marvel Universe's Red Hood, and Free Spirit is good with her Free Spirit. Plus, it would be good Marvel doing good partners for their superheroes since DC does such good partners for their superheroes. And it being good than doing it with Captain America because he's one of the only Marvel characters who's well known for having a partner with him becoming a superhero. This way would make America sound as good and you still also do the other Captain America. Because of the MCU getting ready to introduce Thing Thang Foom because of the Mandarin rings, you would need to use Jimmy Woo to introduce Thing Thang Foom. Because since Shield is gone, and because them being done with using Nick Fury in the MCU, you're going to need to use him for the new Nick Fury of the MCU. You're also changing it that he was the guy who originally unleashed Thing Thang Foom. You'd also need to use him for the Agents of Atlas to show the other parts of the MCU and the monster parts of the MCU. And for the guy who keeps together the other parts of the MCU, so you're not needing to see the whole MCU for any of this to make sense, you're just doing it if you want to. Also using him for the Agents of Atlas. which showed that part of the Marvel Universe during World War II in the MCU. With the Street Demon, you would need to change it so him being able to bring things from forms of media into the real world, and him just getting his powers from a superhero radiation explorers in film projector and movies. And me going with the modern version of the Street Demon, but with the original version of his costume. The Gorilla is a scientist who accidentally turned himself into half man, half gorilla, and him struggling with him being half monster. They did already introduce Namor into the MCU, so this would be a good way to show how good Namor is by showing how different he is from his cousin. This would also be a good way to flesh Namor out more by you showing him being more sympathetic than his cousin. Now we go with a modern superhero costume with a Blue Lantern skin look. M11 would be a good robot in the MCU since them already having so many robots with artificial intelligence in it. Lisa is good because she was Marvel's original Captain Marvel before even the original Captain Marvel. His daughter did have a big part of something to do with the Annihilation event. So it would be good you doing that he was a hero during World War II and his daughter being a superhero in the modern day. And him meeting up with the other Captain Marvel trying to redo the Guardians of the Galaxy. And because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur already have their own cartoon show in the MCU, and because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are some of the most iconic modern Inhumans, you would need to do them showing up in the MCU. Devil Dinosaur is one of Marvel's most iconic monsters. In prehistoric times, there was a fire that activated a mutation in Devil Dinosaur, turning his skin bright red and giving it a psychic link to Moon Boy. In the modern day, because of the Terrigen Mist, him having a psychic connection to Moon Girl. This led up to Devil Dinosaur being stuck in the body of a preteen girl. The Devil Dinosaur was in charge of an evil company, and Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl are well known for being some of the best friends in Marvel, and it would also be good if Moon Boy was in there with them. Krakoa is a living island, so he would be a good monster for you to do the first X-Men movie with, in the MCU. It was temporarily shrunk down to human size as it took up Buddhism and took up a job as a chef at the Fantastic Four's headquarters, and became a part of a superhero team made out of monsters called the Thing Thang 4. Thing is an alien dragon from another planet whose name translates to He whose back scrapes the sun and whose limbs shatter mountains. He comes from a very peace-loving planet, but he and his friends got bored of it, so they went to other parts of the universe to take it over. He's where the Mandarin got the rings from in the comic books. So for the MCU, you can just say that the reason why the rings were so big was because they were made for Thing Thang Foon's fingers. And you can just make it the reason why he wasn't bigger at the time was because he was a teenager, but after him getting older, him getting bigger with age. So in the modern day, him being an even bigger giant monster. So when he gets the rings back in the MCU, he would have godlike power and fight against the other Marvel heroes. He's a monster, but he's not mindless. He is intelligent, but he can be mind controlled and manipulated. He will destroy the world if it suits him, but he will also defend the world if it suits him. He will do whatever fits his needs. He was Marvel's first giant monster and is Marvel's most iconic giant monster. He was summoned by the Mandarin to fight against Iron Man. He fought against everyone in the Marvel Universe from Spider-Man to Next Wave. The Midgardian Serpent took the saber Thing Thang Foon to fight against Thor, but after finding out he was fighting who he was destined to fight, he said the disguise to show his true face to fight against Thor.
How will something you took from Ant-Man separate us?
Oh, this is better than that.
What's your hurry, handsome? Would you like the honor? Oh, no, please, after you. Together.
So why didn't you just hit Foom with that shrink ray?
Because it's your show, silly. And who wouldn't want to see a giant-sized combo Hulk in action?
That's right. It was awesome.
So Hulk and the Agent of Smash was a good idea, they just didn't do it right in the show. So you need to do it again, but this time do a good job of it in the MCU. You need to get at the most out of the MCU's Hulk before you need to get rid of him, and also to be true, you do need to fix the MCU's Hulk too after them ruining him so much in the MCU. You need to do it that it shows the Hulk's part of the Marvel Universe, and it's showing all the different Hulks of the Marvel Universe. And that it shows all the different personalities of the Hulk, and also that it shows us all the members of the Hulk family. Some views from the Immortal Hulk series, and it would also be good and perfect for these phases of the MCU because of it being horror themed. And the Immortal Hulk comic book series is a horror themed comic book series, with it getting the Hulk's origin story to make more sense with there being some magic involved with his origin story. And because of him dealing with the one below all, you can just make it him being a part of the Three Unheld Lords. It's a Devil Hulk from another dimension, so you can just make him another magic version of the Devil Hulk in the actual Hulk's multiple personality disorder. Hulk has been looking out for Bruce Banner since he was a kid, with him actually caring about Bruce Banner because of him being created by the one below all. Because of Bruce Banner having an abusive father, and also Bruce Banner filling him with all the ideas of what he wanted out of his Baba. With him actually caring about Bruce and him being very protective of him. It comes out at night when Bruce Banner gets angry or if he dies at night. With him being in the usual Hulk's body, but if he gets badly damaged, it's showing how he really looks like, which is a combination of the Hulk and what he originally looked like to Bruce Banner when he was a kid. Also, you should make it him actually being able to smell a liar like how he does in the comic books. Just calling him the Immortal Hulk. It's also good him working with the military and him trying to do things to the world. Because of the Devil Hulk being disappointed in humanity, but because of Hulk and Bruce Banner still being good people. And the Grey Hulk was the original Hulk personality that came out at night. As the Green Hulk is stronger, that's why he usually comes out at the time. The Green Hulk is all about doing things that Bruce Banner is uneasy about. And him going to Las Vegas to become a gangster. The reason why the Grey Hulk is so good is because of him having the intelligence of a usual guy when him being in Hulk form, but him still having super strength of the Hulk. But with the Green Hulk getting stronger with the angrier he gets, the Grey Hulk doesn't get any stronger with the angrier he gets, he just stays at the same strength forever. And Bruce Banner can turn into him by sheer will. The Hulk can to get angry to turn into the Hulk. So it would be good in MCU for just them needing a gangster, and also him being good in the MCU for when Bruce Banner needs to turn into someone out of sheer will. And Claw is Hulk spelled backwards. Claw is the Hulk's Hulk, and him being much stronger than the Hulk because of it, and him coming out when the Hulk feels sad. Still do Claw being evil, but with him being good because of him having a good relationship with the Devil Hulk. And you need to make it the original Hulk still being the strongest there is because of him getting stronger with the angrier he gets, while Claw is already at the same level of strength all the time. It's good the Hulk having other personalities that come out at other times when he feels other emotions. There is an alternate Hulk personality, so he should be in this too. Titan Hulk has an alternate Hulk personality, just the Hulk being at full power more than usual. With him using it to go up against a godlike villain like the one below all, which would be perfect for him and would be a good way to use the Titan Hulk. And you'd also need to do the Hulk taking surge execution his elemental axe, for when Hulk needing a weapon and to show his connection to Thor. And also them also having the jump set and all the same weapons from Hulk and the Agent of Smash with the other Hulks, and the Hulk.
Not strong enough. strong as there is! Well fought, Ogre! Truly, you possess the gift of battle. I am Volstagg the Voluminous, and with your strength, Emerald One, we can take back Asgard this day.
And Betty is the Hulk's girlfriend, and her being way better for him than the Black Widow. Especially since Black Widow's dead, and there is a plateau of what happened to her from the Hulk movies. So you would need to bring her back into the MCU, and this time as Hulk's girlfriend, and her also turning into the Red Sea-Hulk to show her being original from the Hulk, and for her being able to do things on her own. She is the daughter of the original Red Hulk, and you can even do her turning into a Red Harpy because of it combining both of her gamma-radiated forms. The Hulk has one of the best romances in the comic books, and the only good Marvel relationship, so of course you should do that in the MCU, and you definitely should do it because of it being more true to the comic books. It would also be good if you combine all of Hulk's love interests into one, so him having as happy an ending as possible, and so it being okay Hulk's alternate personalities having a happy ending with their love interest too. Kaiwa is the Hulk's inner love interest, and he even married and had a son with her. She did to conquer the world in an alternate Marvel universe, and she does have a lot in common with that alien princess the Hulk dated from the microverse, with them both being royalty and aliens. You just have to make it that Betty was caught in a gamma explosion, and when she feels other emotions, she turns into the Hulk's other love interest. With Hulk still becoming the ruler of Sakaar, but this time him staying the ruler of Sakaar. And him and his love interest staying there and them having kids together, like Scar the Hulk's son. Scar also has access to alien magical powers, and he still has the intelligence of a human when he becomes a Hulk, but when he turns back he's a kid. And you'd also need to make it him keeping his energy source from Hulk in the Agents of Smash. And they did recently bring him back in the Immortal Hulk one, so it would be good you having some of that in there. And not Savage She-Hulk would be his daughter. She does have a relationship with She-Hulk, and it's good her finally meeting her brother Scar. She is one of the best modern Hulk out family characters. You just need to make them the alternate personalities of the kids Hulk and Betty had in an alternate universe of the modern origin story of the Maestro in Hulk's hallucination dream. Future version of the Hulk. You can just keep him as an evil future version of the Hulk. And years into the future, after there being a nuclear war, the Hulk went crazy from the radiation overloading him and affecting his mind, and it pushing him over the edge, becoming a super villain and trying to take over the world, and him becoming stronger and smarter than ever before. So the future version of Rick Jones got the modern day Professor Hulk to help him stop him. But the modern day Hulk was outmatched every time until he met and to send the Maestro back in time to the original gamma explosion where he died there. Maestro doing this because of him losing faith in humanity. And he does have a rivalry with Old Man Logan, so if you fully establish the X-Men and do an older version of Wolverine, you having a great villain for him. His original, most iconic look with the look he was when he died fighting against Old Man Logan. Just the original costume from his original look, but the horn helmet from the costume from when he died fighting against Old Man Logan. Red Hulk is the barber of Betty Ross, Red Sea-Hulk, and he is General Thunderbolt Ross, who we already saw in the MCU. Everyone already wants Thunderbolt Ross to become Red Hulk. They're even making fan theories that he's going to show up in the next Thunderbolts movie. Of him being a general just as Red Hulk, and him also being the leader of the Thunderbolts, and him also having the same blasters from Hulk in the Agents of Smash, and with him fixing his relationship with the Hulk and him being okay with the Hulk being his son-in-law, The Hulk gets stronger the angrier he gets, while Red Hulk gets hotter the madder he gets, as in his body heat goes up to the point of melting sand into glass. And it doesn't need to be his weakness because of him being able to use it against his enemies. Red Hulk ultimately proved himself a hero in the comic books, so it'd be good you being able to do a good character out of the General Ross in the MCU and him finding out him being wrong about the Hulk. And with him using the Thunderbolts to clean up the messes he did as a military general. And with him also having access to the Hulk's part of the military. And with him still using the Thunderbolts for good things. And with him being a Avenger and being a part of the Agents of Smash. And A-Bomb is Rick Jones. He's the Hulk's best friend and also they created him by giving him Abomination's blood. He can turn invisible, roll himself into a ball, he has stone skin, and he can breathe underwater. It would be good to have Rick Jones in the MCU because of him being A-Bomb, and he would be even more perfect because of him being the Hulk's best friend and because of him turning into a Hulk himself. Plus, Rick Jones kinda connected the Marvel Universe together when Stan Lee was doing it. And because he has so much to do with the other Marvel superheroes too, it being good him having something to do with the Hulk specifically. She-Hulk is the Hulk's cousin, her being a girl version of the Hulk, and it being because the Hulk had to give her a blood transfusion to save her life, and also because of there being less gamma-rated blood in her system, her still keeping her intelligence from her becoming the She-Hulk. She-Hulk was ruined in the MCU because of them making her sexist to men, some of them had to humor down her throats and her being a jerk-face to Hulk. Plus, they also did a terrible job because of her not wanting to become a superhero. So you definitely do need to fix it and make a good version of her in the MCU, which you can do by exploring the other personalities of She-Hulk, like the Grey She-Hulk. And you would also need to do her becoming Galactus' herald, but her going against Galactus. So you still being able to do this when they're doing Galactus in the MCU.
We're cousins, remember? You got what you wanted! You won! But what about your teammates? Your friends? You'll lose us!
No! He's no monster. He's my family!
Even before Galactus, I was a warrior king who bested all who defied me. You too shall fall!
It's good to the whole Hulk family, and Marvel should really make it there being a whole bunch of Hulks in the Marvel multiverse again. And one of the best modern Hulk storylines, one of the best things from the modern Marvel comic books, is the whole Hulk family going up against the Intelligentsia, a supervillain team made out of the most intelligent supervillains in the Marvel Universe, so you would really need to do that in the MCU. MODOK specifically stands for a mental organism designed only for computing, but after he killed the head of AIM and took over AIM, he started the C for a K and he changed it to MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing. It is bad everyone doing so much comedy with MODOK and then not acknowledging how big of a threat he is. But there did used to be a whole bunch of good versions of him in other forms of media, so an MCU version of MODOK is just when he needs to be taken as a serious threat again and for there to be good versions of him in other forms of media again. He is a villain to Captain America, Hulk, and Iron Man, and he is one of the smartest mad scientists in the Marvel Universe. So smart him and being able to have psychic powers. You acknowledge how big of a threat he is and you not doing jokes about him all the time. You'd also need to do him becoming human again because of Amadeus' show. By him planning for this and him doing a clone of himself, then the clone turning MODOK back into MODOK while also increasing his super intelligence. It proving you not being able to get rid of MODOK and that this MODOK is here to stay. We do need more villains in the MCU that don't just die at the end of the movie, and they did already do MODOK twice in the MCU, but since those are bad versions of him, you would need to do him good here. So we'd have a good version of MODOK in the MCU because of him being so perfect for the MCU. And you would need to do him doing those other fake MODOKs on purpose to throw them off the trail of him being the real MODOK because of him already working together with Kane is how that could happen. Plus, he did have a storyline in the comic books with Captain Marvel, which would be good to inflate her ego out in the MCU and to get some revenge for what the actress said in real life. And he is the head of AIM, and you should do him just staying the head of AIM in the MCU because that's what he really should stay as in the comic books too. So hopefully after you doing this good in the MCU, he'll start becoming the head of AIM in the comic books again. And because AIM is a separate part of Hydra, you can make it that AIM being the new Hydra in the MCU. He is another one of the smartest supervillains in the Marvel Universe, and him being an iconic Hulk villain. And they already showed the leader in the original Hulk movie, and people have been wanting to see what happened to him in the MCU and him showing up in the MCU for quite some time now. It would be good you showing more Hulk villains in the Hulk's part of the Marvel Universe. And the leader tried to start a nuclear war and tried to irradiate the water supply so he can turn everyone into a gamma mutant. He also created an army of humanoids named Humanoids. Brilliant he is, good at naming things the leader is not. Gamma radiation, where would Marvel Comics be without it? In fact, radiation, where would comics be without it? It was the 60s, everything evolved around radiation. And it's not like it doesn't make complete and total sense, because years later, they actually predicted that some fruit sent into space is had the same reaction in real life. Because he was just a nobody until he managed to get super intelligence because of gamma radiation. And also to steal the Hulk's strength. And him not wanting to fight against the Hulk, him actually wanting the Hulk to join him. Because of him wanting to increase his intelligence even more, and because of him wanting to be the smartest one there is. And the ways him doing it is by doing evil plans against the Hulk. With him also wanting to become the leader of the Hulk and the leader of the world, which is why he calls himself the leader. He also fights against the Hulk because of Bruce Banner curing gamma irradiated mutants, and he doesn't want the Hulk cured because of the Hulk being his creation, and because of him thinking that gamma irradiated mutants are better with their gamma powers, he doesn't want them to be cured of it. And the reason why the leader would be fighting against Hulk is to prove that brains beat bronze and to turn everyone else into a gamma irradiated mutant because of him thinking them being better like that. The leader usually uses underlings like Rock and Redeemer to fight for him, but he does fight against the Hulk himself. He was sent to hell for trying to trick the demon Mephisto, but he escaped. He usually tries to increase his intelligence, which makes his head even bigger. And he briefly became the Red Leader. He was depowered by Dark Green, but repowered up to his traditional green self. Also didn't see Abomination since the original Hulk movie, but he really should show up in the MCU again. And they did do him again in the MCU, but he got ruined in there, so they're needing to do him again in the MCU to unruin him in the MCU. The Abomination is traditionally stronger than the Hulk, and him keeping his military planning from when he was human. Him fighting against the Hulk because he hates the Hulk for his exposure to gamma radiation, but still him being able to live a human life. He did put gamma radiation in Betty Wallace's dialysis machine to make it look like she died from overexposure to the Hulk's gamma radiation. But then it turns out Abomination killed Betty and Hulk killed Abomination. You can just give him the same weapons from Hulk in the Ageless Mask, and him also being a general for Hydra in the MCU. Recently show up in the Immortal Hulk series, so you can also do some of him showing up from there. And the Amazing Absorbing Man was a wrestler who ended up in jail, and drank a magic serum laced by the god of mischief Loki, and now him being able to absorb anything he touches. Him and his wife Titania became bounty hunters together, and him also being chosen by Odin's brother the Seraphim as the Breaker of Wills. He did always show up in the MCU, but he should show up again to explain where he's been all this time. And Titania is the wife of the Amazing Absorbing Man, and is a She-Hulk villain, and is the leader's brother. Also being able to grow to a giant size, but him not being as strong as the Hulk. Him having multiple personality disorder like the Hulk, but him getting rid of the human personality of him. And it is good that he doesn't want to kill the Hulk, him just enjoying fighting against the Hulk. And you'd also need to do the storyline of where him fighting against the Thunderbolts because of him hoarding some gamma-irradiated weapons, and you not doing his death at the end. And I would go with the look Madman had when Hulk fought against him in Piecemeal, and Piecemeal is one of Madman's creations. And it is also good him being able to shapeshift, and you should also have the Gremlin for Hulk curing him. Amadeus Cho is the 7th most smartest person in the Marvel Universe. That's saying a lot since there's so many intelligent people in the Marvel Universe. And they already hinted at him in the MCU because of them introducing his mother in Age of Ultron, so it'd be a good way for them to build up to him. He does already have something to do with the Hulk. They just need to combine all of his superhero identities into one, like him also combining the Iron Patriot with the Iron Spider with the totally awesome Hulk with the Modok mutated version of him. And with you keeping his sister the same and him working together with his sister, this way you would make him not just a cheap knockout for the Hulk, but making him similar to other superheroes too, for him being original and for him to be able to stand on his own. Just need to do him having a combo armor of the Iron Patriot and the Iron Spider, but as a Hulkbuster suit, with him wearing the same costume from the modern version of his totally awesome Hulk, and with him having a big head but not too big of a head from his Modok look. Teen Abomination could be the Abomination's partner, and he can also be a villain to Amadeus Cho's Hulk. Abomination is a teenager that was turned into Abomination, and him being a villain to the superior Iron Man. You could use him to show the Hulk families of the Hulk's villains, and with him trying to be cured by the superior Iron Man. Hulk and the Agent's Mask would be created by S.H.I.E.L.D., but them still being on their own superhero team. And they would be brought together to help the Hulk with his public image, and also to help the other Hulks in the Marvel Universe. And also to fight against other gamma-irradiated mutants and to fight against especially big threats. To the public, Hulk and the Agent's Mask would specifically stand for super heroic, awesome, smashing Hulks, for it being better for a public image name, but then keeping a secret between S.H.I.E.L.D. specifically of it actually standing for S.H.I.E.L.D.'s huge, annihilating Supreme Hulks. And because of S.H.I.E.L.D. having a team made of Hulks, Hydra deciding to make their own to go up against Hulk and the Agent's Mask, the Agents of Crass. It stands for Crazy, Ruthless, Obliterating, Slaying Horrors. So no one was expecting anything for what it actually stands for in Hydra, which is a well-guarded secret for what it actually stands for in Hydra. With it actually standing for Cure, Sin, Alter, Innate, Smashing Hulks. The Agents of Crass were exposed what the Agents of Mask actually stands for, which would ruin their public image a bit, but then the Agents of Mask were exposed what the Agents of Crass actually stands for, which would fix their public image. Teen Abomination is a part of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Hunting Commandos, a military strike force created by S.H.I.E.L.D. to fight against monsters. So you can do that's what this leading up to, with them building up to the Hunting Commandos because of there being so many monsters in the MCU, and with them building up to the Hunting Commandos and the Midnight Suns in the MCU. They did fight alongside Captain America in World War II, and it is good to have an original superhero team that usually works together with S.H.I.E.L.D. You just need to make it the reason why they didn't show up in the Captain America movie was because this was after Captain America was frozen. And it actually being because of them why them winning World War II. You just need to do them showing up to Marvel monsters and these, and you combining it with the Marvel Axis storyline. And you making it the giant monsters of the Marvel Universe fighting against each other instead of them fighting against an alien threat, because it actually being more interesting the giant monsters of the Marvel Universe fighting against each other. With them only not going to war with each other in the end because of Kid Kaizu creating some monsters to stop an alien threat and for how you would do the Midnight Suns in the MCU.
That's all, folks.